I'm Daphne, and welcome back to my channel. And this is part 27 of my personal flat earth experience. And for those of you just tuning in, which you shouldn't be, but if you are, I'm a flat earth nurse, my husband's a flat earth nurse, and we are scanning libraries, local and far away, to find flat earth information in all of these books, and laughable globe information in all of these books. And I've just got some real presents for you today. We're going to be going over this book here, which is my personal book, which it's been in the series for a while. I've covered it a couple different times, but it's back for a different reason today. You'll see why. And in addition to that, we're going to be covering this hilarious storybook. I'm going to call this a storybook. It has this particular print on it that's so storybook-like. And it has such storybook-like pictures in it, yet somehow they came from the Hubble telescope. We'll get there. And then, this one. You're gonna love what's in this one. There's even flat earth in this one. I mean, true flat earth. This is really good. Then, which we're gonna go through first, is this. Now, before we totally get started and I go into this book, I want to tell you that I've been through this book probably 12 times over the course of the last 2 hours in preparation for this video, and it is... It's the biggest piece of shit I've ever held in my hands in my entire life, and the people who are responsible for publishing it, editing it, and pumping it out to the public should crawl in a hole and pray for death, because they should be totally ashamed of themselves. This book contains, I'm not kidding you, 21 pictures of a round globular Earth. Not one of them are real. Let's go through it. So it's called the solar system, and the first globular Earth is on the cover. The second is on the inside cover. It doesn't stop there, trust me. Not only are there pictures of fraudulent Earths in this book, there are pictures of fraudulent satellites as well. In fact, it has so many pictures of satellites, I was wondering, how come they don't ever take pictures of the Earth? How come I have a book full of pictures of the Earth that weren't taken by satellites, and pictures of satellites that weren't taken by cameras? I'm not exactly sure why they're calling this science, but let's go through it. It starts out talking about the sun and the moon. Oh, and then we get that globular Earth to start out with. Of course, we can't forget that this is how the solar eclipse happens. But there's another one, globular Earth. It is actually that one, which it's just. I swear, if I see this picture in another video, I'm gonna combust. I want $1 for every time I have to look at this fucking picture. I want $1 for every time I have to look at this fucking same-ass fraudulent picture that I have been force-fed since I was born. This exact picture is in all of these books, and I have to tell you, it, above all others, it boils my fucking blood, because it is shown to me so often, and not only am I not convinced of it, even if I were convinced of it, I'd still be fucking sick of it. Totally sick of it. I cannot believe that they're actually going to try to tell me that that same fucking picture that I have seen 100 fucking times, there are no words. There are no words. No, my anger does not grow with each video. No, it is revealed. I have been this angry. I have been this angry because I have been a fan of NASA and a fan of science, and technically a scientific atheist for years on end. And now what? This which was basically my religion, I find out is nothing more than an oil painting, a photograph of an oil painting, a very convincing photograph of an oil painting, but an oil painting nonetheless. If you cannot tell that this is an oil painting, there is no hope for you. It is such an oil painting that up close, not even under a microscope, but just up close, you can see the canvas texture and brushstrokes, and the brushstrokes on the texture of the canvas. I'm not making it up. I've looked at it myself, but I never looked at it close enough when I believed that it was real. So if you're living your life believing that this is real, take a closer look. That's what I did, and guess what I saw? Fraud, on top of fraud, on top of lies, on top of more fraud, on top of tons of our money out the fucking window. Now I'd like to know exactly how it is I can buy a DVD made by Disney and get better images than this, and somehow this costs us $50 million a day? What's happening to all the money? And why is it a science book contains no science? A science book that says we can see Earth, you can't, can only give us paintings. And then this. What the fuck is that? You know what that is? I don't think that people can tell because they aren't the daughter of a pilot, but I can tell you what this is. This is a hole that happened in the side of some dude's airplane hangar, and then he had his buddy named Tim come over and weld it back together. Then they enhanced the color on it and told you it was science. But is it? No. It's a piece of shit. It's a close-up picture of a piece of welded metal, and it isn't science. Oh, here comes my combustion. There's that picture again, that same exact picture. But you know, when I counted the pictures in this book, I didn't count how many of them were exactly that picture. I mean, out of 21, probably at least 10 of them are this exact piece of shit. And then that, which is, if you don't remember from the other video I did, this is the, what is that? That's the ornament. Yes, that's the Christmas ornament that was kicked around the trailer park multiple times. And then NASA picked it up, and they said, yeah, let's call that some science. That's definitely some science. We're gonna tell people that that's some science. But then there's this. Well, this is really simple, isn't it? Oh yeah, look. This is Jupiter, obviously, and those are the clouds on the surface of Jupiter. Clearly, we can see that, yeah. And then the liquid hydrogen in the bulk of the planet, and then there's the core. What else do you need, huh? What else do you need to believe that that's Jupiter? Oh, look, there's a close-up of the surface, i.e. oil painting. We won't talk about that. We want to talk about how many oil paintings are in this piece of shit science book. Oh no. But when it came to Uranus, they got a little lazy. It's not very interesting. It's pretty boring. What is that? Is that a planet? That isn't even a good Photoshop. No thought, literally no thought went into this. Like, they ran out of ideas. They were just like, yeah, that's Uranus right there. That's totally it. And we're going to make it much more interesting by telling people that it has liquid diamonds in the center. And then this tin can, yeah, sure it is, Hubble telescope. A telescope that somehow only produces oil paintings. A telescope that somehow only produces oil paintings. Tell me how that's possible, science. Tell me. I would love to hear about it. Oh, it just gets even better when the round Earth, they show a little bit of curvature, and everybody's like, Makes me feel so warm and fuzzy to see that curvature, to confirm that it's really round, because we've never fucking seen it. So when it's in books, it's really soothing. At least it used to be to me. Oh, but look, this is that's a satellite. That's definitely a satellite. Totally. That's its power supply. It says so right there. It says power supply. Yeah. How do they do it? How did they convince us for so long? Oh yeah, I have this marked because this is where it gets really good. Yeah, the meteors and the asteroids, the comets, all this. Where have we seen that before? We're going to get back to that. In fact, we're going to get to it here in the next couple pages, because they just don't have very much information. So what they like to do is they take, so this same picture is right there. Now, that means that not only are they frauds, not only are they robbing you of your money and being completely fraudulent and giving you bullshit information, they're not even being very creative with it. They're being pretty lazy with it, in fact. These same pictures exist in all of these books that I've covered. These same exact pictures. They don't have any new information. They actually don't have any information. They just have misinformation. But as far as this picture goes, just keep that in mind. We're gonna bookmark that, because we're gonna get back to that, because it's just so good. Yeah, so this ends with it telling us that, you know, the credits go to NASA, the pictures came from NASA, the images came from NASA, the photographs came from NASA. Yeah, the solar system. not one actual photograph of the solar system or of Earth in this book, yet somehow it's telling us that this is a book about the solar system. And yes, I get it. This could be a book for teenagers or tweens or people that are 9 or 10 years old. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Do they not deserve real science? Do 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds not deserve real pictures of their home? Furthermore, do they deserve that many scare tactics? Do they deserve that many pictures of Earth being destroyed? Do they? Do they deserve doomsday pictures? Do teenagers who are possibly looking at this book deserve the fear-mongering that's in it? I don't think so. I think this book is a piece of shit, and the people that are responsible for it should crawl in a hole and choke on their own vomit. I'm not saying that they should die. Not everybody that chokes on their own vomit dies. But let's move on, shall we? This book is called Beyond. Oh, and it was beyond my wildest expectations. I have to tell you that before I even got to page 2, there was some flat Earth interestingness there that I had to share with you. So yeah, it starts with it's called a solar system voyage. So I'm to believe, you are to believe, anybody who picks up this book is to believe this is a voyage through the solar system. I think it's a voyage through our wallets and through our ability to tolerate bullshit. That's just my personal opinion. Take it or leave it. So yeah, here in the beginning of the book, we've got this. And what is this? This is flat Earth with a dome over it, the moon and the stars inside of the dome. Do I need to remind you where this came from? A solar system science book. Solar system science book, page 2, flat Earth, dome over it, moon and sun inside of dome. I smell some shit, and I think it is coming from this book. I think this book is riddled with bullshit, and it stinks like bullshit. So, that isn't all. It is filled with hilarious images of what we are told are satellites that could never be considered images of satellites. It is, I guess this is aimed more toward young adults, but it's still filled with this. It's filled with this. No, couldn't get a new fucking picture, could they? No, not at all. That's the best they could do. Every time. Every fucking time. That's the best they can do. This is the worst they can do. Because even without looking closely, even from 3 miles away, even though you're in a different state or a different country, you can see this is an oil painting on a canvas. Look. But somehow this says that this is orb view from August 18th of 1999. Orb view. Orb view. Brushstrokes. Canvas texture. More canvas texture in orb view. Yeah. And then this is what? Idiot view, right? This is retard view. Oh, wow. Who is believing that anymore? I'm not going to say who's believing that, because, you know, we've all believed it at one point, but who's believing it anymore? I'm sure as hell not. No, it's just they couldn't get creative. With half of the planets, they just lost interest. They couldn't get very creative. You know, that once they came up with the liquid diamonds that existed in Uranus, their creative structure was pretty much just collapsed, and they were drained of all of their effort. That was pretty much it. That was their best one yet. Yeah, the sun. Oh, pictures of the sun. At least the sun's somewhat real, right? It's just, it goes on. That doesn't even look real. That just looks like a high school art project, at best. An A+ high school art project. Not a bad one, just a high school art project. Maybe even a middle school art project. A good one, by the way. A good middle school art project. But nothing that belongs in a science book. And then, yeah, these, you know, they're not round, even though everything's supposed to be round. Your eyeballs are round, tomatoes are round, grapes are round, Earth is round. Why aren't these fuckers round, huh? What's your explanation for that? everything's round, a drop of water is round, everything's round, so Earth must be round. Well, what the fuck is your explanation for shit shaped like that? That isn't round. That's even close to being round. How does that fit into your little scientific explanation? Oil painting. Oh, I know. It gets so good. This is what they did. Here, check this out. This is Jupiter, in case you didn't know that. This is Jupiter. And then, this is up close Jupiter. Science, in case you didn't know that. Oh, look at this. This is what's really hilarious. So this is the same exact picture that exists back here. It's basically this exact picture, except they have flipped it upside down, changed the gamma correction, enhanced the darkness here, made it black and white, same exact picture. And they were like, hey, you take that picture right there, you crank that around, make it totally different, flip it around, change the colors a little bit. Science. Yep, right there. Science. Took the same picture, flipped it upside down, took the same ornament from the same trailer park, took a different picture of it and told you, science. This isn't science. This is wasted ink. If I were to be completely honest, if I were to tell you how I really feel about this book, knowing how much it costs to put something into print, knowing how much it costs to put something into color print, the only thing I can tell you about this book is that it is a waste of fucking ink. And no, I have had comments of people tell me we should burn these books, but we should not. You know why? Because somebody someday might need to wipe their ass, and these books will be perfect for that job. Same picture. Oh, we'll crop it a little different, make it a little darker over here, make it a little lighter over here, flip it completely around. Science. No, not science. Oh, look, same trailer park ornament over here. Oh, it's got a couple dents in it. Yeah, totally. Science. That's definitely a moon on Jupiter. I would totally believe that. That's science right there. And these images here, these come directly from NASA. Yeah. That link is in the back of the book, and that link ends in .gov. So, you can believe the authenticity of these pictures so much so as you believe the authenticity of websites ending in .gov. These are government pictures. Do you believe the government? Do you believe government pictures? I don't. I don't know anybody smart who does. Yet somehow, lots of people think that this is a photograph. This isn't a photograph. This is CGI. This isn't even an oil painting. They didn't even put that much energy into this one. This tests every time in OpenView or Photoshop as CGI. A satellite didn't go take this picture. If you think a satellite took this picture, you have no right to call flat earthers gullible, because you are the most gullible piece of shit that exists on plain Earth. This is not a photograph. I will say it again for those that didn't get the message. This is not a photograph. Do not tell your children that this is a photograph. You might as well tell them that Santa is real. Oh, look, again with Uranus. They just couldn't get very creative with Uranus, and so it's not very interesting. Neptune, though. Oh, Neptune's really fascinating. And see that little brush stroke right there? They thought it was interesting, too. So they got another close-up over here of it. Oh, look at that. The close-up of the brush stroke on Neptune. That's science! In case you didn't know, it's fucking science. No, this is supposedly Triton, the icy moon of Neptune. And I have to tell you what I really think this is, which is the tip of a beat-up, nasty-ass, shit-covered Timberland boot that exists on the foot of a man who owns a field of ostriches. And it's covered in ostrich shit. And it even has the texture of the leather on it, which is actually the canvas texture that I see here. But it could easily be the tip of a farmer fucking boot covered in farmer fucking shit. And they're telling you, this is science. Check that out. It wasted all the ink. Look at all this ink. This page is completely black. Do you have any idea how much ink is wasted on this shit? If you wanted to go print this out, it would cost you $1,000. They're going to do it, tell you, science. I don't think people realize how much it costs to put things in print. And when things are in print, they should be reliable. But when the bibliography contains websites 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 end in .gov, just doubting the credibility of whoever made this piece of shit book. Oh, that's it right there. The same picture, the same 20 pictures that exist in this book. That's science. So even though this tests positive as an oil painting, and that this same exact picture is featured throughout this book multiple times in multiple shades, turned up different sides, they're telling you that this is science. Now, are they telling you that this is science, or are they telling you, you're so fucking stupid, you'll believe it anyway? So, this is the best one yet. This has got to be the best one yet. I've said that before. Trust me, this is the best one. Like I've said, this is a storybook. It even has storybook printing right here because they knew when they were making this that this was a piece of shit. That it was a storybook. That it was something you would tuck your children in with at night and make them feel fuzzy and lost in space. So Elaine here, Elaine Scott, the creator, the responsible party of this book here, she should crawl in a hole. She should crawl in a hole and cover herself in a blanket full of rat shit and cry herself to sleep every night. If she has her name on this piece of shit book, she should be so ashamed of herself that she would be willing to come forward and say how fucking sorry she is. Elaine Scott, if you haven't crawled in that hole already that you belong in, why don't you come on out and tell us how fucking sorry you are for this fraudulent piece of shit you've created. Yeah, this book is supposedly filled with images from the Hubble telescope, which is this tin can right here, supposedly. You believe that? Because if you do believe that, I got a bridge for you. So anyway, I went through this book with all of my rage. I have a question that other people have, the same question other people have, which is, if this fucking thing is real, and it can go out into the universe and take images such as this, I don't mean to be unscientific here, but is it so unlikely that it could, like, flip around and take a picture of the Earth? Or is that just out of the realm of possibility for science? Is there any money that we could put toward getting the Hubble telescope to maybe flip around and take a fucking picture of the Earth while it's busy pumping out oil paintings that look like this? This isn't even convincing, NASA. What the fuck is this? Tell me what the fuck this is. This looks like the Mozilla Firefox icon with some sparkly shit in it. Listen, NASA, National Geographic, I know you're together. I know you're bigger than me. I know you're richer than me. I know you're stronger than me. I know you have a bigger following than me. But I'm coming. The truth is coming. And when people see what I'm telling them, that you've been spending their money pumping out oil paintings, they're coming too. And you should be scared. You should be petrified, actually. And you should be pinching your pennies, because it's not likely that in the future you'll be getting very many more of them, because we're on to you. We are on to your bullshit. We are on to your fraud. We are on to your ability to put a tin can on the fucking cover of a book and fill it with oil paintings. We're on to you. We're on to you, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And anybody connected to you, anybody co-signing your bullshit, such as Elaine Scott here, she should be ashamed too, just as ashamed as you. But not as ashamed as the people should be that believe this particular drawing is a device that actually exists and is in operation. This is a sketch of an idea, of a notion, and of a dream. One that I don't think has ever come true. Because the images that have supposedly come from it could have come from Bob Ross himself. That, I am not even kidding you. But these here, oh, these are the assholes that want to tell you they've been to space. Yeah, you're not capable of seeing the curvature because you're too small. But they did. They went to space. Now, if that doesn't piss you off, I don't know what would. But that condescending attitude of this stupid guy in this jazzed up scuba gear suit, it pisses me off. And if I had kids, I would ask them the same thing. Does this piss you off? I would also ask them, do you feel as though you're spinning 1,000 miles an hour? Or do you feel like you're standing still? Do you feel like up is up and down is down? Or do you feel like up is actually out and you're spinning round and round? I don't know. I think it seems like a bunch of horse shit in order to get money to come up with lies like this. Oh yeah, the Science Channel. No! Back when I still had it. Yeah, I've been TV free for 6 years, but back when I still had TV, I remember this picture right here. That's your universe. You got a picture of your universe. Wow, really? That's the universe? Who's believing that? Who's believing any of this? This is an image. The Hubble telescope captured this image. Science. The Hubble telescope captured this. Look at how much ink they're wasting. If you wanted to make a pamphlet for your business, if you wanted to promote your business and make a pamphlet and put this much ink on it, it would cost you like $20 a pamphlet. But they're going to spill this ink on lies for you. To convince you that they're doing shit they're not really doing. They're looking at things they're not really looking at, and they're going to places they're not really going. Now, I have been through probably, 50 science books in the last month. 50 science books for ages 0 to 80. And they don't contain any real pictures of the planet Earth, round or shaped like a pear. They don't contain any pictures of a satellite, near or far. They don't contain anything that resembles science, yet somehow I'm supposed to believe that this image right here came from the Hubble telescope. Now, when I get a fucking Amber Alert on my cell phone and my whole entire house glows up with worry, what's that noise? Oh, a child is missing. There's a device out there that can get pictures up Saturn's ass, but can't find your fucking missing kid. You riddle me that. Now, I've kept this book on hand to show you the connection that it had with this piece of shit. Now, what really pisses me off is that they can't even be creative about the fear-mongering that they choose to spew upon us. They can't even be creative about it. They use the same exact shit in every book. I know people give me the excuse, like, this is a book for children. This is a book for teenagers. This is a book for college kids. They're all the same pictures. They're all the same fraudulent pictures that cannot be classified as photographs by people who have functioning brains. And not only that, but they're filled with this kind of horse shit. So this is the solar system book from the library, and there's that. Just take a good look at that. And then my science book from home, my wonderful National Geographic that I just adore so fucking much. That. Now, what similarity do we have going on here? I have other books. I've gone over other books, I've gone over several other books that have these pictures in them. I've since returned them to the library, but if I had them, I would have probably 8 different books lined up for you right now with this exact image in all of them. It's not a scientific image. It's not helping anybody. It's not proving anything. And what is it doing? It's keeping people afraid. Afraid enough to pay for somebody who would hopefully look out for something like this that would happen and prevent it from happening. And that, my friends, isn't science. It is, however, the fear that keeps you paying for science. Thanks for tuning in.